The DeWalt Cup Series chase continues on with the biggest wild card of them all, the Pepsi 500 at the Talladega Superspeedway. Two championship favorites have already had misfortunes in the opening two chase races, which leaves no room for error in what could be the most unpredictable of the 8 chase races. It's time to see who can survive 38 laps of Superspeedway pack racing next on JRTV. Welcome everyone to Talladega, Alabama at the Talladega Superspeedway, the biggest wild card race for these 12 chase drivers in their quest for the DeWalt Cup Series Championship. I'm Joe Rutkowski. Trey Bartle joining me alongside in the booth. And Trey, here we are. The first two chase races have been normal, have been calm, besides the fact that two of the biggest names fighting for the championship, Nathan Stapleton, Laura Chung, both driving for Otter Island Motorsports, have had issues while running at the front of the field within the last 5 laps of the last 2 races. And now, Trey, we head to the biggest wildcard race of them all, pack racing 3 and 4 wide all day long at the Talladega Superspeedway. How are these 12 chase drivers going to navigate this mess?
Well, if there's one race that, they could have something go wrong and they could just mark it out as a wild card thing because anything could happen throughout it, Joe, this is going to be the one. I mean, everyone knows the history about Talladega. Anything can and probably will happen here. And at this point, I mean, this is anyone's race to win. Anyone can finish anywhere within it. So, if you're Laura Chung or Stapleton, I think your best bet is just to, go all out and try to get yourself up to the front because, Joe, let's be honest, disqualifying was a little strange, I guess is the best way you could put it.
I would say very strange. I think that would be the word I would use to describe it. When you look at the qualifying order, 6 of the 12 chase drivers, so half of the chase field, are starting 30th or worse. Max Davis starts 30th. Brian Rodriguez 31st. Nathan Stapleton 32nd. Matt Tuck 34th. Bryce Egan, the points leader, 37th. And Laura Chung 38th. Only one chase driver starts inside the top 10. That's Jerry Chen in 6th for Southern Cross Racing. Only 3 chase drivers are in the top 20. Jack Haas 11th, Jude Martinelli, and 12th join Jerry Chen up in that. Then you have drivers like Jericho and Gabe Willard. They're kind of middle of that. They're inside the top 30, outside the top 20. Same with Riley Spraytube. So Trey, there is a lot of variety in where chase drivers are starting, but half of them starting outside the top 30 or 30th or worse. Do you think that they'll be able to move their way through the field? Do they have car enough to move their way through the field?
Yeah, that is definitely going to be the biggest thing. I mean, they know what they're doing at, tracks like this to get themselves through it. But the biggest question, like you said, is do they have the car to do it? I mean, clearly they don't have the car to do it themselves in single car qualifying. But in a pack situation, it's a whole different thing. The air acts completely different there, and you can definitely manipulate it to help your cause. So we'll have to see what they can do throughout these laps.
Let's quickly go over how the points look as they show up on the screen. Bryce Egan is now the new points leader after Nathan Stapleton's engine failure within the final few laps of the race last time out at the Iowa Speedway. Egan leads the points by 5 over Brian Rodriguez. Once again, they both start poorly. Egan starts outside the top 35. Brian Rodriguez starts outside the top 30. So they're both at the back of the field. There's a tie for third between Matt Tuck and Chris Jericho. Jericho starts mid-pack. Matt Tuck back there with Bryce Egan and Brian Rodriguez outside the top 30. And then you have Jerry Chen, who starts, as it stands right now, if the race were to end how it starts, Jerry Chen would be the new points leader. He finishes in 6th. That's where he starts. He's 22 points back. Max Davis in 6th is 26 points back. And then you get to the 2 Otter Island Motorsports cars owned by Benny Watson. Stapleton 7th, Laura Chung 8th. They've won the first 2 chase races of the season so far. Otter Island Motorsports as a whole has 10 wins on the season. If you combine Tucson Racing and Vision Motorsports, the other 2 big 3 teams, they only combine 10. Together. So that's just how strong Otter Island has been in the win column. And we'll see, can they continue their winning trend and try and get up there? They have to gain an average with 6 races to go, an average of 5 points per race, both of them, to have a shot at the championship. Then you look down at Riley Spraytube, Jude Martinelli, Gabe Willard, Jack Haas. They really need a race like today at Talladega to go their way, where they finish up inside the top 10, top 15. And all the guys in front of them failed to finish inside the top 25 or 30. So they need a lot to go their way to get themselves back into the championship fight. but it is possible at a track like Talladega. And let's look over the starting grid, Trey, and how unique it is. Robert Ashford and Chris Keselowski, both from OSC Racing, have claimed the front row for the race today. OSC is way down in owners' points. They are dead last. They are a distant dead last compared to 13th place in owners' points. So to see Bibi Ruiz's team have 3 cars starting inside the top 10 today is just absolutely tremendous. You have Crispy Fried Racing Ventures, Chris Bacon's team, 2 cars starting inside the top 10 with Johnny Cox in 3rd, Ryan Wilson in 8th. Watch for Galway Automotive. They've won 2 drafting-style racetracks earlier this season. Levi Schoen's won Texas World, then Jack Haas won the next super speedway at Pensacola. So we know the Galway cars have been fast at these types of tracks, and all 3 starting inside the top 20, with DeLello starting in 4th, Jack Haas a little bit further back just outside the top 10 in 11th. Fitzwater Australia Racing has 2 cars up inside the top 15. Tyler Belladonna starts just outside the top 10. Cam Wright Jr. starts inside the top 5. You look at Jerry Chen, the only chase driver starting inside the top 10. The Ace Motorsports cars, Tim Gary starts 7th. Joshua Cox starts 10th. Jordan Stout starts 13th. So, Trey, there is a variety, a mix of teams at the front, and it's a lot of teams that we have not talked about at all this season.
Yeah, definitely. But that's going to, make it so much better here during this race because we're going to be able to get to talk about them, right? So we'll have to see what they have for the rest of the field here. And, Joe, I'm excited for this.
I am too. It's going to be a variety here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. Something else to bring up for those chasers starting at the back is that some of these cars at the front, they obviously have quick cars. They start on pole. They have just pure fast race cars. It's very possible that we will see some drivers lose the draft just purely based on how the ratings are set up. So for some of those chasers back there, you think about Bryce Egan, think about Brian Rodriguez, the top 2 in points, they start back there. Some of those chasers have to be careful. It is possible to lose the draft at the Superspeedway. We've seen it at Daytona to start the season. We saw it at Pensacola. It is possible. It can happen, and it probably will happen here today at the Talladega Superspeedway in the Pepsi 500. We'll get the cars to start rolling off. It's a long pace lap here at Talladega, and that's going to bring up our picks to win. I closed back in just a little bit last time out at Iowa, where our picks got 2nd and 3rd, and that means Trey gets to go first again. It's still about 1 position difference, Trey, but this could be the race that makes or break which of us wins this season in terms of the predictions. So who are you taking to win the Pepsi 500 at the Talladega Superspeedway?
I feel like it's been a long time since I've last won one of these things that I'm getting really, really tired of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go with a guy who I've trusted before, and I'm pretty sure it worked out for me. He's going to be starting mid-pack here, Joe, but he's tied for 3rd in the standings right now for this championship, the 54. Chris Jericho only 17 back, Joe, but at a place like this, that could be 17 up by the end of it.
It could be, or it could be even further up by the end of it. I mean, there's just it's a wild card race for a reason. Look at all those yellow spoilers, by the way, back here at the back of the field. It's tremendous to see. It's completely unorthodox, but that's just how this race, how qualifying has played out. We'll see how the race plays out if those yellow spoilers have the car, have the pace to move through the field using the draft. Because remember, qualifying is single car, so have a fast car in single runs. We'll see if you have the fast car in the draft. I'm taking Jordan Stout in the 66. Ace Motorsports has shown some pace at these Superspeedway and drafting-style racetracks earlier in the season. I think that maybe they've only gotten better. All 3 cars starting inside the top 15, with Stout the lowest of them. But I think he'll move his way through the field. He'll get Ace Motorsports their first ever victory in the DeWalt Cup Series here today in the Pepsi 500 at the Talladega Superspeedway. Now we get to the DeWalt track facts for today's race. 38-lap race around this 2.66-mile racetrack. No pit stops will be required throughout the 38 laps. So they'll go all 38 flat out. We'll see if we get that big one, which could always happen when they're racing in these tight packs of 3 and 4 wide. Lots of banking in the corners, which allows full throttle flat out racing at the Talladega Superspeedway. Here they come to the tri-oval. Not where the start-finish line is today. We'll have to go past the tri-oval to get to the start-finish line. Could create some interesting moments if the race is close at the end. It's OSC Racing to lead to the green flag. Ashford on pole. Keselowski in 2nd as they take the green flag. We're underway in the 3rd chase race of the DeWalt Cup Series 2025 season at Talladega. As they come off the backstretch, Trey, a very weird start, very spread out. Johnny Cox spun the tires, it looks like, from the 8, and kind of lost ground to Ashford. That allowed DeLello down in line. He was pushing Keselowski. Now he pushes Robert Ashford. Those two OSC cars still about how they started, door to door. 3 wide behind them, but it's Robert Ashford, the push from DeLello to get clear out in front. Here comes DeLello, the lone Galway car not to win this season. Johnny Cox already going 3 wide for the lead through the tri-oval as they come down to the start-finish line. Who's going to lead the first lap of the Pepsi 500? Give it to Ashford from pole, but they're already 3 and maybe looking 4 wide for the lead. Tegan Fox had a look, but backs out of it. 3 wide, Johnny Cox to the inside. He'll grab the lead for Crispy Fried Race Adventures off turn 2.
Yeah, the start of this race, Joe, was very messy. I mean, the front row got a huge jump. The guy on the second row on the top side went with the front row, and no one else seemed like they were ready to go. You saw Stapleton in the back try to make a jump up to the top. As soon as the green flag waved, I mean, there was cars everywhere, Joe. But we're right back to where we're used to seeing with Talladega and Daytona, right? 3 or 4 wide racing throughout the entirety of the pack here. And Joe, that just means, if these drivers make one small mistake, one small misjudgment, you're going to collect about 20 other cars with it, and you're going to have about 20 other people extremely mad at you.
Tegan Fox will lead the race 4 wide behind them inside the top 10. That sorts back out to 3 wide. It's Fox, Stout, 1-2. Belladonna up to 3rd. Levi Schoens for 4th. Won earlier this season at Texas World. Ryan Wilson had a shot to win at Pensacola, a similar drafting racetrack. He's moving up inside the top 5 on the inside. Belladonna blocks low, gets back up in line. That allows Levi Schoens with the run. Gabe Willard moving up. Matt Tuck moving up on the inside. That's crucial for Tuck. He comes in time for 3rd and points, 17 points back. So there's a shot to gain if Bryce Egan and Brian Rodriguez both struggle here today. But also big for Matt Tuck, Trey, is that when we were at Daytona earlier in the season kickoff, he was one of the drivers that lost the draft early on, never got a caution to catch back up. He even fell a lap down in that race. Well, here today, Trey, he's in the draft and moving forward. You see Jerry Chen and Chris Jericho, 2 fellow chasers, down in line moving forward for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. These guys are still trying to figure out where they want to go and how the best way to get to the bottom is. And, that's going to be the pristine line to get into. As you can see, the first 4 or 5 cars on this bottom right now are almost gapping themselves. It's almost 6, 7 cars right now. They are not racing at all. They're staying in line, and it's working for their benefit. The only one that isn't doing that is the 66, who is dropping back. And as soon as I say that, we have a pass for 3rd place. Or 4th place. That is 3 wide on the bottom.
Roberto Crown Jr., EKH Enterprises, is another team and track combo that could be very, very good once we get down to the end of this one. And Crown Jr. making moves. He went 3 wide on the backstretch for 4th. Now he's going side by side for 3rd on Ryan Wilson as the front 2 stay clear in single file. Still Fox leading over Levi Schoens, but here comes Crown Jr. and here comes chaser Chris Jericho. How big would it be if this yellow spoiler 54 can get up here and lead a lap? That would be an extra bonus point, and these chasers not guaranteed bonus points here today with how the cycle can be, the shuffle can be. So Jericho wants to desperately get up here and lead a lap for a bonus point, try and get closer to that championship lead. For the lead, here comes Levi Schoens out on Tegan Fox. Has no help until Chris Jericho jumps low. Fox is all but clear into turns 3 and 4. Trey, she was thinking about moving down in line, but thought better of it because the 96 was called to the inside the last second. Now it's Schoens, Fox, deadlocked for the lead. Jericho trying to keep Matthew Burnett behind him, but can't. That allows the 96 to stay out in front of Jericho, but he has no help from behind. Matthew Burnett's a little bit further back. Fox and Schoens drag race to the line. Tegan Fox leads that one still in the 59, but Schoens still on the inside. He'll have Burnett come to help him with Tyler Belladonna. And here comes Laura Chung, started back in 38th, and 5 laps into it, she's up inside the top 10 and looking for more off turn 2.
All right, Joe, I think it's safe to say which one of these 3 Otter Island Motorsports cars are going to have a mechanical failure today, because that seems to be the common trend over the last couple of weeks. And it's crazy, right? But I guess I shouldn't be asking that question until within, 10 laps to go?
Yeah, maybe get down to a lap 34, then you could start worrying about which Otter Island car might have something go wrong here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. Levi Schoens gets pushed clears, leads this race. Burnett up to 2nd. Belladonna on the inside, still moving forward. 4 wide for the back of the pack. Matt Tuck in the middle of it with Zachary DeLello. Johnny Cox the one up top. Rob Dashford, the pole sitter, also in the middle of that. They can make 4 wide work here if they want to give each other enough room. That's a big if, because these drivers can get very aggressive throughout this race. 4 wide up the back straightaway. Schoens still leads the race. Fox back down in line and looks for a crossover. Further back in the pack, there are some drivers getting antsy because they're losing draft, and 2 of them are Vision Motorsports cars in the chase. Max Davis and, crucially, points leader Bryce Egan is back here.
Yeah, that's something you wouldn't expect, right? Especially out of this team. They always seem to have speed wherever we go, but they are struggling to get up with the pack right now. As you can see, they are falling off more and more. They got to get behind each other and start to work together here to try to stay with it, as their teammate is up here, essentially was racing for the lead at one point during this race. So we'll have to see if they can get themselves back up into it. As you can see, Matt Tuck right here is in the hornet's nest, Joe.
This is crazy stuff. They are 3 by 3 here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Eli Bright, your driver, looking 4 wide on Gabe Willard. At the front, how about this for Tegan Fox? She got passed by Levi Shones, got immediately back in line, and here she is now pushing Shones up in second place. Angel Gutierrez started back, I think, in last place, 42nd if I'm not mistaken. He's up now inside the top 5. He was third, gets passed by Noah Brady there in the 51 car, as Brady will move through to third for Fitzwater Australia Racing. Jack Haas, our only chaser at the front right now at the moment. Haas won at a Superspeedway earlier this season at Pensacola. He knows how to win at these style of races. And here he is, moving up nicely in that number 23, pushing Noah Brady for second place and trying to get himself back into the championship fight. Over 50 points to make up, but if he has a good day and all the others in front of him don't, could make up a lot of points today at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, definitely, Joe. And that is it's one of the beauties of this type of racetrack, right, is that if you're in a points position where you're not the happiest and you get a good day out of this and the guys above you don't, it could easily flip like a coin, right? I mean, it's crazy how after these races, Joe, we've seen it time and time again. It just seems like stuff has been turned completely upside down. But again, still too early to tell in this race, and guys are still trying to figure out where they're going. You see Tim Gary just almost essentially shut the door on Jack Haas there, trying to secure his second place, which he did, and now he's going to be riding here and seeing if he can get a run generated to go and take this lead, as he's going to be looking into turns 1 and 2.
I mean, he's been flying this last lap. He went 3 wide on Jack Haas, made the move for second place. Now he just got the run all by himself on Levi Shones, and he's going to put the Ace Motorsports Chevrolet into the wind. Tim Gary leads at the Talladega Superspeedway. Riley Spirituba, chaser, coming up to try and get a lap-led bonus point. Crucially, so is Brian Rodriguez, comes in second in points. Bryce Egan is still latching on to the pack, but Rodriguez wants a bonus point, only enters 5 behind Egan. And another crucial chaser moving up is Nathan Stapleton, who once again is 29 points behind. Won the first chase race, blew up in the last one. Here he is now. Blaze going to get put middle of 3 by Keegan Thompson with a big move for Tucson Racing. And Thompson wants to do that. He wants to help his teammates who are chasers. Rodriguez and Jericho wants to help them try and get points over guys like Stapleton, the other chasers. As Keegan moves up to the top 5, Nathan Stapleton's moving up in 4 wide land as they're all bunching back together off of turn number 2. Egan and Davis, though, Trey, back there, they are struggling and they're starting to lose touch with the main draft. 2 big names in the chase are out of it at the moment.
That is devastating for them, but everyone else in the chase, you know, they may not know about it, but when they look back at this race, they're going to be probably a little happy about it, that there's 2 less people they got to worry about, right? But right now they are still inches apart from each other. And Joe, I don't know about you, but every time I look at this pack, I feel like there's at least 1 or 2 cars that seem to be shuddering or jumping around, and they just do not look like they are the most fun things to drive right now.
No, they are a mess to handle, it looks like. And I mean, obviously that's going to happen. You're racing 3 and 4 wide in a 200-mile-an-hour pack. I mean, the air around the cars has to be so extreme in conditions like this. There you can see 2 Red Lightning racing cars have dropped way off. That's Ludovic Charette, Bruno Diaclo at the back of the field. And then you have the 2 Vision Motorsports cars of Max Davis and Bryce Egan that are now lagging off of the pack. They need to hope for a crash to happen and for them to miss it, for them to now have a shot to get up here into the draft and have a shot for the race victory at the end. Jericho tried to make a big move, but Chris Keselowski was down to the inside of the 57 for OSC Racing. So it's Gary leading. Spruitt's been second. He's going to get challenged by Johnny Cox for Crispy Fried Racing Ventures. Keselowski coming with him, so some different names at the front. Gary, Johnny Cox, Chris Keselowski run 1, 2, 3 at the Talladega Superspeedway for Ace Motorsports, Crispy Fried Racing Ventures, and OSC Racing off turn 2.
Oh my goodness, Joe, this is, I don't know about you, every time I watch one of these things I get nervous. Just too many cars, too fast, too close together. But so far they're making it work, and Laura Chung is making her way right back up to the front of this field yet again, Joe. She was up here before, fell back, and it seems like she's got some speed in that car because she was able to find her way right back up near the front of this thing, and we'll have to see if she can get up there to the lead and try to hold some guys off. But it seemed like the moment Tim Gary got there, He has not looked back, and this makes me a little happy. I got all three of my cars are slowly approaching the front right there.
Yeah, Matthew Burnett is just in front of these two, just a car between them. Then you have Eli Bright and William Seaman working together right now at the moment, so good for your team, Mean Motorsports, have all three cars in this main draft, and they're all moving up nicely on the inside lane. Jack Haas between them, and now Alex Vitali gets between them as well for the lead. All three OSC cars want to lead today. Remember, Ashford led the first lap. Tegan Fox led a few early on. Chris Keselowski started second. Now he wants to lead a lap here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. So Bibi Ruiz has to be loving what he's seeing. All three cars running well. All three cars are going to get to lead a lap here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. Right behind Chris Keselowski is Lathan Strickland for Foss Autosport. That's a team that's a driver, Lathan Strickland. He's not yet led a lap this season. He's up inside the top 15 in points. Hasn't led a lap, though, in that 91. Could today be the day where he finally breaks that?
It would be nice for him, right? I mean, it's something to look forward to, Joe, and he's one position away from doing it, but he's going to need some help to get up there, and it does not seem like Burnett's going to be the one to do it. He's actually going to put him middle, Joe, and he has no help there in that middle lane, Joe. He is going to fall back like an absolute rock. Now he's got a little bit of help.
Well, that allowed Tim Gary to get back in line in second place. Matthew Burnett has his two teammates with just Chris Jericho between them. So Mean Motorsports moving up nicely, all three inside the top 10 now as Eli Bright leads Seaman up to Matthew Burnett's bumper with Chris Jericho right in the middle of them in that number 54. In fourth place, the front four get cleared in single file, starting to try and pull away from the 3 and 4 wide mess behind. Burnett with a look, gets the inside of Tim Gary for second place. That will disrupt those front four and allow Eli Bright, William Seaman, Jordan Stout, Matt Tuck, and all the others to slowly close back in and move their way up through the field. Burnett has help from Chris Jericho. Jericho maybe looks 3 wide, thinks better of it, gets in line. William Seaman wants to pass on teammate Eli Bright, but Eli has a nice draft from Jericho, but Seaman gets the inside with the push from Jordan Stout. So those two will go side by side as it's Chris Keselowski pulling away in the 57 in the race lead. He's gotten a nice, comfortable gap. Matthew Burnett so far not strong enough to move forward, but this 00 looks pretty strong. With a big slingshot run looking to the inside of Chris Jericho. 54 shuts the door down low and gets down in line in front of the 00 and 66.
Well, you're Matt Tuck right now. You were up front, then you're in the Hornet's Nest, and now you're back up front. What do you have to do to try to keep yourself up here so you don't have to worry about being in a situation like Laura Chung is right now where she's back in the middle, Joe? She's been up front twice so far herself, too, and she's fallen back twice. I mean, how do you have to keep yourself up front here, therefore you do not fall back to that 3 and 4 wide mess?
Seems like you have to be an OSC racing car to do that, Trey. I really don't know. I mean, what do you think Matt Tuck knows that he has no teammates right now to help him? That Max Davis and Bryce Egan are both out of the draft, and he's the lone Vision Motorsports car up here in the main draft with a shot to maybe win this race and gain points. I mean, if Matt Tuck knows that, that's going to be a terrible feeling because, a Tucson car is not going to help you, an Outer Island car is not going to help you, and I don't think any other team is going to help you because they'll want to win. It's been those 3 teams that have dominated the season. Those other teams want to get a victory for the first time since April.
Yeah, I mean, you would definitely think that he knows about it just because, one, it's Chase standings updates, and 2, they're your teammates, right? But I got to agree with you, Joe. I don't think there's going to be any car out there that's going to help Matt Tuck at all. It's not because they don't like Matt Tuck. It's just because he and his team wins too much. I mean, that's what it is. It's they want to see someone else take, the checker flag home at the end of this race, and if not helping him is going to be the way to do it, then it's going to be hard to make a way up to the front. He's got Tim Gary behind him right now trying to push, but he's already lost, 6-7 spots before that they got linked up together.
How about this driver, Jerry Chen, who's up there 5th in points? It's been a solid chase so far at the moment, but earlier this season, Trey, he was the one that was rolling the dice, and he was the one that was feeling the fear in his enemy's eyes. He was just up there constantly, even if he started poorly, raced up into the top 5, was so consistent throughout races, say 5 to 10 or 11 or 12 or so. Once he lost that points lead, he's been there. He's been inside the top 5 in points the whole season, but he's not been one of those Vision cars, those Tucson cars, those Otter Island cars. But here in this chase, 22 points back after 2 races, he has a shot, if things go right here at Talladega, to closing down that points lead and still a shot at the championship.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see what he can do, Joe. I mean, he was at the beginning of the season, I think we both agreed that he was going to be a championship contender, and then it seemed like he faltered for a bit there and struggled, and now he's trying to get himself back up into this conversation as we have got shuffling going on at the front here, Joe. they finally knocked that 57 out of the way, but don't look now because he's got a teammate coming in. If one car is that fast, you got to think all of them are that fast.
Yeah, well, all three have led laps today. Now it's Joe Hendry leading for Crispy Fried Racing Ventures. We saw Johnny Cox at the front. That's Hendry's teammate. As Tegan Fox tried to get low, Tim Gary, you know he has a fast car, gets low on Tegan Fox at the last second, and allows Hendry to keep the gap. And now they're 2 by 2 for a few cars back. Here's another driver trade, just like Lathan Strickland. Keegan Thompson has not yet led a lap this season. That's insane to say because he was battling for a chase spot most of this season. He's now 13th in points, has still not yet led a lap this season. Today could be the day. 18 laps to go. This number 6 up at the front. We've seen 2 stock cars have been at the front today, but none of them been able to get to the lead so far in this race. We haven't seen a chaser lead a lap yet here today. No chaser has gotten that bonus point for leading a lap, and so far it's been all those underdog teams that have been able to spoil the chasers party so far at Talladega. We still have half the race left and still a lot of shuffling left to play out.
This is the one race where you don't these chasers have to rely on a lot of the other guys in the field, and everyone else in the field don't have to rely on the chasers to get themselves up front. So it's might be the reason why what is at the front 7, 8, 9 cars are non-chasers.
Yeah, it's impressive. You have Riley Spraytube up there and Laura Chung. Those are really the only chasers at the moment. And Laura Chung's falling back. Then you have Jack Haas and Matt Tuck. Matt Tuck's falling back. Drew Martinelli's falling back. Jerry Chen's falling back. Chris Jericho's falling back. Brian Rodriguez is still just stuck back here, just kind of waiting to get through the traffic jam. In fact, he's going to get pushed back because Drew Webb's going to make it 3 wide. Gabe Willard and Nathan Stapleton's been very, very calm this race. I don't know if he doesn't have the car or if he's just waiting, Trey. We saw Nathan was so strong at Daytona to kick off the season, led a lot of laps. I think he actually led the most laps in that race. But here today, he's not been able to move up at all in this number 75. He's still at the back of the field, and I have to think that maybe this 75 is just waiting for stuff to play out, stuff to form, and then maybe with about 10 laps to go, he'll say, all right, time to make a move on, and let's get going.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, Joe. But, I mean, as you can see the field right now, I feel like the longer we go with this, the more that they get spread out, and it's going to be harder for Stapleton to really, make his way through this pack and get himself into a good position before the end of this thing. But, maybe he has a trick up his sleeve that we don't know, and we'll have to see what he can do from all the way back there as we are still shuffling to the lead. Tim Gary back out front with Early Tube is in second place now, trying to look for the lead, Joe. He's going to try to make a pass going into the trioval. Are we going to finally have our first chase driver lead a lap? No, because Tim Gary's going to have other plans, and he's going to absolutely shut the door on him and leave yet another lap while Spurley Tube, he's going to try to make a move now.
Oh.
No, he's not. He's going to get made a move on him.
He had a shot, but Cam Wright Jr. said, I'm not pushing that yellow spoiler to the lead. And he went low himself. So Fitzwater Australia car now tries to chase down the Ace Motorsports car. So how about these team owners? Brett Sierra, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Bibi Ruiz, Chris Bacon, team owners that we've not talked about this season much at all. And here they are. These are the teams that are now making their way to the front. You still have, Evan Hunter's team up here for EKH Enterprises. Here comes another Crispy Fried Racing Venture car. That's Ryan Wilson moving up, starting inside the top 10, fell back, never talked about him, but here he is moving up with two more Fitzwater cars. Tyler Belladonna and Noah Brady moving up nicely, 4 wide back of the pack, 2 Ace Motorsports cars in the middle of that while 1 leads the race. Tim Gary leads, his 2 teammates are in a mess. Joshua Cox in the middle with Anthony Hernandez. Down low is Cox's teammate Jordan Stout. Gabe Willard starting to move up along with Brian Rodriguez. They think now is the time to start moving. Meanwhile, drivers like Matt Tuck, Jerry Chen, Jude Martinelli have made their way to the back of the field. They'll start to try and move their way forward as they sort the 4 wide back to 3 wide. Still, Tim Gary leads this race. Pole sitter Robert Ashford is the one up to second. Levi Jones with a slingshot 3 wide run to the inside, moving up inside the top 5. Here comes Jordan Stout, but Cam Wright Jr. will get down in front of him. And here comes Willard and Rodriguez. Trade just a lap or so ago. They were stuck back there around 30th place. And now, a lap later, they're up inside the top 15, moving for the top 10. That's just how quick things change here at Talladega.
Yeah, it's one of the beauties of this track, like we mentioned before. But, Joe, this race is still far from over. We're going to have to see what else all develops here as we've got new contenders making the way through the front of the field and old people falling back down to the pits of the bottom of this track, right? So we're going to have to see what all develops. I'm looking through this field, and Stapleton still has yet to make a move, Joe. I don't know. He's got to start thinking about it here pretty soon.
Well, he had made a few moves there, but his teammate Philip Torres, of all people, put him 4 wide. And that's not what you want to see for Benny Watson. That allowed Christian to get down in line around Laura Chung. So here comes some more chasers starting to move up, but the front of the field is dominated by non-chasers. Brian Rodriguez is trying to make a move up, second in points, only 5 behind Egan. He gets shoved middle of 4 by William Seaman, the mean motorsports driver looking for his first ever victory. Levi Jones and Jack Hosser in that for Jake Galway's team Galway Automotive. Down low, Alex Samatale for Atlanta Motorsports. Justin Zidell for EKH Enterprises has his teammate stuck in the middle, Riley Sprayley Tube. Then you have Chung and Jericho moving up again with 12 laps to go here at the Talladega Superspeedway. At the moment, we have 38 cars to win it. 38 cars in the draft, back to Jacob Miller, led by Tim Gary, as Noah Brady makes the move for third on his teammate Cam Wright Jr. So far, Trey, the Fitzwater cars have not been playing nice with each other. I don't think I've seen any teamwork between those 3 so far.
Yeah, that's tend to be not what you want to do here. You kind of want to work with your teammates at a place like this, but maybe it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an excuse for them. I'm gonna be honest.
Look at this pack.
I was trying to think of something, but I couldn't do it.
Look at this pack. They're still 4 wide. Levi Jones and Riley Sprague to Matt Took in the middle as well. Everyone trying to get clear and away from it. There you can see back there, Nathan Stapleton still needs to gain points on drivers like Rodriguez and Egan, but still stuck in the back of the field. Lord Chung looking for a way to go to get around Brian Rodriguez. The 62 defended the bottom, so Lord Chung took her run to the outside. Noah Brady trying to run down Tim Gary for the lead. William Seaman making a dicey 3-wide move on Samatale and Robert Ashford. Trey, we're already coming back around to 10 laps to go here at Talladega. It's been a quick one, but it's been nothing short of action here today. We've seen some constant passing. We've seen shuffling. And for the most part, the pack has spread out to where the fact drivers could make their own moves if they want to. There's been gaps to get down in line before we get to the back of the field. Create a very interesting dynamic here today, but it's still not over. 10 laps to go at Talladega. That's over 26 miles to go. And oh, by the way, there is traffic in turns 3 and 4. Will we catch these 4 cars? They've all latched on together, which is a good thing. The question is the pack fast enough with 10 to catch and have a shot to maybe mix up this field one final time?
It'll be interesting to see what happens if we do catch those guys that are, those 4 cars, because, Joe, they're not damaged. They just lost the draft, so it's not like they don't have the speed. They just were on the back of this pack, and they had no help behind them to push them and keep them in it. So we'll have to see if they play a big factor into who ends up getting this win or not. As at the front of this field, Joe, the first 4 or 5 cars are all single filed out, and they're still trying to figure out how they want to shuffle stuff up, as this pack behind them are all roaring, trying to get wow, actually, you know what? Instead of the first 4 or 5, it's about the first 10.
Look at Matt Tuck. He got shoved up top. He's basically against the safer barrier there, trying to give everyone room on the inside, saying, well, I cannot crash this race car. We are 17 points back at Bryce Egan. He's out of the draft. Matt Tuck needs to do anything he can to try and gain points, and at the moment being in this pack would be gaining points on Egan. The problem is Brian Rodriguez, second in points, 5 points back, is also in the lead draft and gaining a lot of points, as that 62 runs pretty strong here so far at this Talladega race. Change for a second. Alex Samatale moves through. Williamson looking to move to the inside as well. A big block for Samatale to get down. Other drivers blocking like Philip Torres, Joe Hendry. Here comes Chris Jericho Chaser trying to move up. Everyone dicing around Torres, looking middle to bottom to middle to bottom, as it's still Gary leading for Ace Motorsports. Alex Samatale for Atlanta Motorsports up to second, with Seaman to third. Drew Webb for Southern Cross Racing up to fourth, and then Torres side by side for fifth. Now 3 wide for fifth as Hendry moves low and all the way up top. It's Noah Brady. A big move for Tegan Fox. Got from top to bottom in the 59, and she's going to start moving back up to the front.
Joe, can you tell that we're getting near the end of this thing?
Look at this is intense. They're just moving left to right. Wherever there's a gap, they're taking, and that's just, as mentioned, the pack spreads out so much it allows drivers to make those moves instead of being deadlocked and gridlocked 3 by 3. The pack spreads out to where these drivers can make moves like this, where they can move left to right to go wherever they think is fastest. It just creates a fascinating dynamic for this Talladega race. We're within the final 10 laps. Chaser Brian Rodriguez looking to get a big points lead here today, as the 62 is up inside the top 10 and looking for some more up the back straightaway. But it's still Tim Gary leading, but he has some drivers now lined up. But Noah Brady takes the move before Drew Webb can. Noah Brady wants second. Here comes Joe Hendry with a big slingshot run, and Rodriguez down in line in front of Cam Wright Jr. Still moving forward inside the top 10, coming back around to 6 laps to go at Talladega.
All right, the question is, Joe, where do you want to be in this pack right now with 6 to go, and where do you think is going to put you at the best position? I think right now, the way that car looks, Joe, I want to be Tim Gary. I mean, it seems like once he gets out into the lead, you cannot pass him, and it's going to be a challenge. He's going to have to work together, and they can't do that. They're trying to shut the door on each other and almost wreck each other for second place there, Joe. I think Tim Gary's got the car to beat right now, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get something together to try to pass him.
I do want to bring up, with how this chase has gone so far, we obviously saw Lord Chung at Rockingham from the lead pit with a tire issue and fall out of the race. And he had Nathan Stapleton bound for a second, blow up from the points lead. He dropped all the way down into the top 5 in points. Then you have Bryce Egan, the points leader by 5, but he's lost the draft. He's 39th. I mean, Trey, this chase and really the season as a whole has just shown that this points lead is built upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I mean, it crumbles. And we've seen it so many times this season. The points leader have issues, and this is just another case. The points leader out of the draft, and even if there is a caution, there's no time left. He's running last place. Even if there's a caution, he could get a few spots, but he's not going to get a good finish, and he's going to lose the points lead Bryce Egan this day. So another case of this points lead being so fragile, while second in points, Brian Rodriguez up inside the top 5 with 5 to go.
Yeah, I have to agree with you 100% there. I mean, if a caution does come out, cool, we stack everyone else back up together, but it's going to take so long for the pack to get into the big group like it is now that you're really not going to be able to make up a lot of spots or get the speed even to make up a lot of spots. So at this moment, everyone is, if you're in the pack, that's good. And if you're not, you just pretty much got to start looking forward to next week at this point, Joe. But I know something that's not looking forward to right now, and that's Tim Gary. He just lost the lead.
Did you see that? William Seaman and Rob Ashford went for the middle at the same time. They nearly came together. Ashford got the middle himself. Jack Haas trying to block Chris Jericho back there. Jericho goes middle of 3 between the 23 and the 11, as it is Hendry leading, but Gary got down in line. That 69 is so strong, he got down in line. He still has a shot in that number 69. He has Drew Webb pushing him. Here he comes back for the lead, Trey. This is awesome stuff.
Tim Gary is a man we have not talked about a lot this season at all. If it was because I think he was involved in 2 wrecks. He was upside down, I think, at one point this season too, possibly. But right now, Joe, we're talking about him because he has absolutely dominated this race, and it's going to be hard to beat him. But, Joe, if there is one car that can beat him, it's this 59 and that entire team as a whole, because it's once they were out front too, it was hard to pass them as well. So we'll have to see what happens.
Tegan Fox over the back of Tim Gary. 3 laps to go. At the back, Nathan Stapleton starting to lose the draft in the 75 car. You thought that this would maybe be the race that was the wicked and wild wind to blow down the doors that would let him into the championship fight. Well, he's still stuck back there in 38th place and just latching on to the draft, trying anything he can to move up, but that car just doesn't seem to have it here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. But this Ace Motorsports car has it. Tim Gary still leads. Levi Schoen's looking for a second win, his first since Texas World. Roberto Crown Jr. trying to get EK Sharp Price is a win! Look at that block for Levi Schoen's. He couldn't get down in front of Crown Jr. Tim Gary keeps the lead because of that. Crown's going to get to second. A push from DeLello. Here we come to 2 to go. Here comes Crown Jr. for the lead. He has a push from Zachary DeLello. And Chris Jericho tied for 3rd in points. He's on the inside with 2 laps to go.
I thought that was going to be a block turned into a wreck there, Joe, because that was almost devastating. But so far, they are still battling it out, and this 20 is taking the lead, and he's got some help behind him here, and, he had some help. Now they're going to be battling for second place there, or is that 3rd place at the moment? I don't know how that goes.
Oh, look at Lord Chung forcing it 4 wide. They know that now is the time to go. Now is the time to get the track position. Crown and Gary still side by side. Crown's going to clear off 4. Here they come to the white flag in the Pepsi 500 at Talladega. Roberto Crown Jr. looking for Evan Hunter's first win as a team owner. But here come the big 3 teams of Jericho and Lord Chung trying to spoil the non-chasers party. Here's the white flag. 2.66 miles to go. Crown leads, but Jericho and Chung are right there to pick up the scraps through turns 1 and 2 for the final time.
Joe, the crazy thing is that we had not had a single chaser lead a lap all race long, and now, Joe, we might be looking at the first chaser to lead a lap, and it might be for the lead here. Chris Jericho is going to be going for the win. He is to the inside of the 20. He has Laura Chung to help, Joe, but do you want to help another non-chaser? Oh, no, they're going to be passing for 3rd.
Jordan Stout makes the move. Can he get a slingshot run off turn 4? Angel Gutierrez pushing him forward. Here they come off turn 4. Jericho leads for Tucson Racing. Here comes Jordan Stout for Ace Motorsports. A push from Angel Gutierrez, who looks 3 wide through the tri-oval. Here they come to the checker flag. Jericho up top, Stout in the middle. Down low Gutierrez. Jericho wins for Tucson Racing.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Trey, Talladega was the race where I think all these non-Big Three teams said we could go and win, but Chris Jericho for Tucson Racing said, no, you can't. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. What a move by. All right, let's make a move out here for Angel Gutierrez, who made a bottom 3-wide move in the tri-oval, and it almost worked, Joe.
How about, top 2 finishers, 1/100th apart, top 3, 3/100ths apart, the top 4 were within a 10th at the checkered flag. Oh, man.
I'm at a loss. I can't believe all that just happened.
Well, I think, looking at the points trade, Chris Jericho's going to be the new points leader. Brian Rodriguez finished 27th. Bryce Egan, we know, was out of the draft. Chris Jericho beat Matt Tuck. He's going to be the points leader in that number 54.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Joe, I did say at the beginning of this race, he's 17 down, tied for third in the points, and that could easily flip the 17 up and in the lead, and I think that just happened.
It did. How about our picks, too? They finished 1-2.
I won! I won!
They finished 1-2, side by side.
I finally won again! I forgot that was even the thing!
Yeah, that's just... What are the odds, though? At Talladega, of all places, our picks would have been 1-2 side by side at the checkered flag.
Oh, my goodness. That's incredible.
Oh, man.
They didn't let us down, that's for sure.
No, they did not. And I mean, these drivers did not let the fans down here at Talladega. That was an amazing race, start to finish. It was completely clean, caution-free. And we saw the shuffling. We saw different teams. But in the end, Trey, it is once again Toussaint, Otter Island, and Vision Motorsports continuing their dominance since April and continues on. And now, I mean, the rest of the teams have to think, are we going to win a race before the season ends?
Yeah, that is it's definitely going to be the topic of conversation, but for the week. But I think for right now, it's going to be the thing that Chris Jericho just did. Went from being 17 back to now, like you mentioned, should be the new points leader, and it led only one lap today, and it was the one that counted the most.
Exactly that. Only one chaser led today. That was Chris Jericho, who won, as you mentioned, by leading only the last lap. So 37 laps led by non-chasers and basically non-winners this season. But in the end, one of the dominant teams, one of the dominant drivers, finds a way to get the checkered flag at the last second, the last possible second. A last lap pass for the win for Chris Jericho. Gets him massive points here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. The points leader out of the draft for most of the race. The next closest driver in points falls back at the end, doesn't time the cycle right, and finishes outside the top 20 here today. The points are going to take a massive shuffle, and now the two drivers in the driver's seat are going to be Chris Jericho and Matt Tuck, both chasers that scored a top 5 finish here today at Talladega. But now let's go check out the finishing results from a crazy race at the Talladega Superspeedway. So here's how they finished from an absolutely chaotic race at the Talladega Superspeedway for the Pepsi 500. Chris Jericho finds a way to get one of those big three teams into victory lane here today. It didn't look likely at all today, but Jericho timed it right. He made the best move. He wins today in a photo finish over Jordan Stout, who ends up in second. Angel Gutierrez tried a 3-wide move in the tri-oval, unfortunately just ran out of time. This race was one lap longer. Maybe Angel was going to victory lane, but still a solid third for him. Roberto Crown Jr. gets fourth, and Matt Tuck, another chaser, with a very impressive top 5 finish. How about Chris Keselowski for OSC Racing getting 6th here today? Laura Chung in 7th puts her back into the championship fight. Tim Garrett, who dominated the race, leading 18 to 38 laps, ends up in 8th. Tyler Belladonna and Matthew Burnett complete the top 10. Other chasers that performed decent today: Riley Spurgeon in 12th, moves him up a little bit in points, and still technically with a shot at the championship. He's still close enough. You have Gabe Willard in 18th, Jude Martinelli in 19th. Those were the only chasers to finish up there. Then you have down below the top 20, Jack Haas in 24th. Crucially, Brian Rodriguez 27th. Had a shot to gain the points lead, but because his teammate Matt Tuck performed so well, Rodriguez now still close enough to get that points lead next race, or however many races for now, but 27th was not good for him. Jerry Chen 29th in that number 36. Could have gained a lot of points today, but didn't. And then obviously the big names. Nathan Stapleton never moved through the field in 38th place. Bryce Egan lost the draft, never got the caution to catch back up. He ends up in 39th. And the biggest story, Max Davis, 42nd for that number 16, and maybe takes him out of the championship fight. Same with Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton's now had 2 bad races in the chase. I just don't know, with only 8 chase races, if you can have more than one, if one at all. So that's how how the finishing results stand as we now take a look at the chase points. 3 chase races in, 5 races to go. Chris Jericho, now the points leader for the first time this season. He has it by 11 over Matt Tuck, who is now in second. Third in points goes to Brian Rodriguez. He's just 19 points back, though, so still close enough. Laura Chung now up to fourth, and with a shot, 24 points back. And Bryce Egan falls from first to fifth, but still close enough, 26 points back to make something work. Riley Springtube is now sixth in points, close enough, only about 34 points back. Jerry Chen is seventh, 38 points back. And to get down to some of these drivers that are maybe struggling and kind of falling out of the championship fight. Martinelli 8th, Gabe Willard 9th, Nathan Stapleton now 10th, and Nathan is now 54 points back, I do believe. So that might be done for him unless something magical can happen over these final 5 races. Down below him is Max Davis, obviously a very bad race. He's pretty far down, and so is Jack Haas in that number 23. As we take a look at the team points, Tucson Racing closing in a little bit with Vision Motorsports having 2 very bad days. Matt Tuck obviously carrying the banner for them getting a top 5 finish. But as we look through the team points, Trey, your final thoughts from a wildcard race at Talladega, which saw a non-wildcard team, Chris Jericho for Tucson Racing, get to the victory lane. That's Jericho's 4th of the season, and Tucson Racing's 6th overall.
It was a very Talladega-esque for a type race, right, where we thought the favorites to win this thing throughout the race were going to be the one to dominate, and they dominated the race, but they didn't lead the lap that counted the most, and that was the last one, and that went to the 54 of Chris Jericho, who really, I mean, came out of nowhere. He might have mentioned him once or twice throughout it, but nothing more than that last lap there, and he made it count where it mattered the most. So this was something, and a clean Talladega race, Joe. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, very good racing all throughout, and as you mentioned, clean, no big wreck to really affect the championship picture at all. It was just good, hard racing throughout all 38 laps here today at the Talladega Superspeedway. And you mentioned how Chris Jericho basically came out of nowhere. That's even true when you look at his prior drafting track finishes. Daytona, he was nowhere all race. Texas World, he was nowhere all race. Pensacola, he was nowhere all race. But here today at Talladega, he found a way to get to the front wing of Marin Most. He had enough car underneath him to make a move on the last lap. Jericho wins. Tucson won Daytona. Now they've won Talladega with Brian Rodriguez at Daytona, Chris Jericho here at Talladega. We look forward to the next 2 races next week on Labor Day. We're going racing Monday for Darlington, the Southern 500. That's always a fan favorite, a driver favorite, a commentator favorite race, and I think we're going to have a good time next time at Darlington. Could be some strategy there. It could be high tire wear, probably 2 pit stops in that one with how long the race is. So it's going to be fascinating to watch how that plays out next Monday on JRTV. And then 2 weeks' time, we're going road course racing. The only time in the chase we do that'll be chase race number 5 from Riverside. Should be a fun one there, and we'll see who of these chasers can master the left and right-hand turns to try and continue their quest for the championship. But today, let's congratulate Chris Jericho and Tuki Tucson's team on winning at Talladega for their 6th overall victory on the season. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rakowski. So long from the Talladega Superspeedway.